brighter than light. He'll give you strife. He's Todd. He's tall, he's mean. He's labeling machine. He's Todd. Rides a motorbike. He'll tell you what it's like. He's Todd. Don't know what he'll say. He'll scare the kids away. He's Todd. He's Todd.
Hey. Show business, man. Hey, episode 5, BS with Todd. Thanks for showing up again. I appreciate the audience out there. I hope everybody is well. Myself, it's starting to get to me, starting to go a little stir crazy. So it's kind of like it's becoming a Vegas where it's acceptable to drink at all hours, I guess, and you forget what day it is. What else? Man, I don't know about you all out there, but man, I'm putting on a few LBs myself. The camera says it puts 10 on you, plus the 20 that I gained. So technically I'm up 30 so far. And I know I was thinking about going to the gym the other day. But the guy who handed me my food at McDonald's was named Jim. So I guess I'm good. Dun-dun-dun. Anyway. So with that being said, this is BS with Todd. BS in this case stands for Brother Solutions. It stands for a lot of things of, which I'm normally used to spewing out there. I'll try and hold back as far as my cussing and everything else unprofessional. It's tough, but I'll see what I can do. This is completely unscripted, unrehearsed, and a little bit unprofessional at times. But again, I thank you for showing up. And speaking of gaining weight, I want to introduce my lovely assistant, Jamie, and it's not what you think. But anyway, Jamie, out there?
I'm here.
Hi, Jamie.
How are you today, Todd?
Just ducky, thanks. You know what? You're looking wonderful. Wonderful. Hey,
if the 10 pounds, if the camera has 10 pounds, how many cameras do you have on you right now?
Trying to be funny again. Hey, so Jamie's going to be in the background, and Jamie's going to be answering all your questions. So don't hold back with all your questions. Let Jamie know. I believe he's answering them in the Q&A section, if you will. So feel free to ask away. And speaking of, I'm going to answer a few questions from last week. Let's see. The first one, yes. The second one, no. Maybe. And, well, if the money's right. So anyway, keep those coming in. We love answering those particular questions. Ask away. And at the end of this, we have a poll. Please be as honest as you can on the poll. It's got a different bunch of different questions. One in particular is that does this time zone and this day work for y'all out in, because I'm covering the 3 different time zones. There's thousands of people on board right now.
Hey, there's 4 time zones. There's 4 time zones. There's 4 time zones.
4 time zones. All right. Thanks, Jamie. You can mute yourself and get off camera right now. Anyway, I appreciate that. So what we're going to be talking about today is the brother iOS and Android apps. Now, in the old days, and we've all seen these, we've all used these machines. You go out and you type away, but when you have big clubs like this and the keys are little teeny, you can imagine what this cell phone, me on the cell phone, but nonetheless is that things have certainly changed and labeling has come a long way. And Brother has machines, which you're looking at in front of you right now, that are Wi-Fi enabled. Now, when I say Wi-Fi, it's got nothing to do with the internet. It's basically a peer-to-peer connectivity between your iOS and Android smart device, including your tablets and the actual device itself. So you connect to the device via Wi-Fi, and I'm going to share a screen here in a little bit, and it's going to show you how to do some of the functions that you normally do on these little manual guys on your phone or iPad. And if you're more savvy to using that, there are many features you can use via the apps on here. So we're going to go through a plethora of apps, if you will. And we're going to start with, I'm going to try and share my screen here. Let's see if this works. All right. Let's go. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Why is? Okay, so here's the problem. I got this nifty new little program that lets me mirror my iPhone to the actual computer, and it's not behaving. Let's see if it comes up. There it is. All right. So I'm going to share my computer screen, all right, with you right now. And I'm going to go through some of the apps. All right. We're going to start with Transfer Express. Transfer Express is a way to download essentially a database into any one of these printers right here. Now, specifically, it's much easier to use on the PTE 550 and the PTE 800. And you can download several thousand labels into these printers. And the way that that works is, I'm going to share this with you right now, real quick. Let's see if this works. Let's go here. Let's go here. So the way that Transfer Express works is it works with the P-Touch editor. Now, we had a episode last week on P-Touch editor. And by the way, you can catch all the episodes. If you go to our landing page, you can take a look at all the previous episodes. But essentially what I can do is I can take a database and I can use a feature up here called Transfer Express, which is right here. All right. And I can transfer that into my iOS or Android. Now, that's kind of the old school way of doing it. But the cool thing about that is you can see all your databases right here. Oh. All right, come on. Technical difficulties. Here we go right here. And it's as easy as, let's say, taking this and then hitting transfer. Now, as this phone is connected to either the PTE 550W or the PTE 800, it's going to transfer that database into the machine. And again, several thousand labels. And the whole idea behind that is so you're not manually inputting them and printing out one at a time. So that is the brother Transfer Express. Now, there is an easier way that we can get that database into the PTE 550W, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. By the way, I did a webinar with Fluke last week specifically on our collaboration between the Versive, I don't know if you can see it up there in the corner, but between the DSX series of certifiers and the PTE 550. And I think our marketing professionals are going to share that as well. It was a very good webinar. I had several hundred people on there, and it went pretty smooth, probably unlike the way this is going right now. So the next one I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you the cable label tool. Now, the cable label tool has a bunch of features on here, such as a general label, faceplate, cable rack, cable flag, patch panel, punch down block, and you can do electrical panels as well. So from a general, it means just that. All right, you can type in whatever you want. You can talk to the machine. Again, it's just printing one label at a time. You know, I don't know if I'd use this all the time to print on these particular units. Now, on this one, absolutely, because there is no keyboard and there is no keyboard on here. But the PTE 550 and the PTE 800, this does have a removable keyboard, full-size QWERTY keyboard. I think it'd be easier for just general labeling using the PTE 550 and the PTE 800 for any type of heat shrink or general labels. So it's the same with the faceplate. There are a lot of templates preloaded into here, such as you see, like this one. Now, what I can do is I can augment this data. inside here. I can type in whatever I want. You hit the done button, and it's just a matter of hitting print on there. So again, very simple, very easy, and there is a bunch of preloaded templates. Same with the cable wraps. On the cable wraps, what you can do is you can actually select the different size of label that you're printing. Select this first area right here, type in whatever you want, hit done. As you can see, it emulates that and repeats it for the individual cable wraps. And again, the work is done here on your phone, and then it is printed to the machine. So again, very simple, very easy. Same thing with the cable flags. I really don't need to go into the minutia of the cable flags. From a patch panel standpoint, you can see that there is a lot of different configurations in the patch panel. If I want to bring up, let's say, a 6-port patch panel, again, there's the configurations, and I can come into this one here. I can type in whatever I want. I can go into the second one, type in whatever I want. You can even use the microphone feature on here. So again, if you've got these big claws and you're typing gobbledygook like I just did, what I can do is I can hit this microphone, brother, and there you go. So again, some of these techs out there that are a little more tech savvy, it's very simple, very easy to use. Now, one of the other things is that it does have circuit breakers on here. One of my biggest issues I have, in fact, if you go out to my electrical panel right now and you open it up, you're going to see somebody's used a Sharpie and they've drawn in a kitchen and bath and so forth and whatnot. The cool thing about this is that it actually has circuit breakers in here. So if I scroll down, well, here's one right here. So again, you can see it's preloaded. There are commercial as far as residential, but again, it's just a matter of typing whatever you want here, brother. Going to the second one, going to the third one, so forth and whatnot. So again, very simple, very easy. You also get into more of the consumer grade, if you will. Here's some examples. And again, I think these are absolutely fabulous. I think all of us out there can attest going out to your own circuit breaker and not being able to see the writing, or I've even been in hotel rooms. And that's how anal I am about labeling. But I'll open up these panels, and you take a look at these panels where you're in a 2.5-star hotel, and there's nothing but Sharpie that you can't read. So again, doing stuff like this makes the job a lot easier when it comes to troubleshooting and so forth. There's also a bunch of templates in here. All right, so let's say you're doing some fiber and you want to construct a fiber warning sign. Again, you can select any of these. You can go in and you can type in Todd. How's that? Very true on that, by the way. So again, you pick whatever label you want and you type in the information. This is very cool for this particular app right here. Very cool. It can be used in low voltage, datacom, data centers, electrical, load centers, custom cable assembly, you name it. It can be used as well. There's also a section in here for saved and favorite labels. So here's some of the ones that I use on different sales calls when I'm talking to the electrical folks. If you need to do a service tag, there's an installed tested by. Danger, again, I'm not going to go through all these, but that app right there is the Brother Mobile Cable Label Tool, and all of these can be found in the iOS or Android app areas. I'm drawing a blank right now. Google Play, I don't know, something like that. I'm getting old. I don't remember much. So that's the Mobile Cable Label Tool. The next one I'm going to talk about is iprint&label. Now, I love iprint&label. Iprint&label, one of the things you can do is that you can do custom labels kind of like what I'm doing here. And let me share that screen again. All right. If I go here and I go back to here, all right, and I hit the old share. All right. So if I'm building a custom label, such as this one here. So I'm going to build this label, and I'm going to put, different things like, let's do a copy, and I'm going to come up here, and I'm just going to show you real quick how this is done. We're going to do a paste, and I want this information as a barcode. All right, so I'm doing these custom labels. I'm building this on P-Touch Editor software. Now, what I can do is I can take this custom label and I can download it into brother iprint&label, which is going to be this guy right here. So these are some of the custom labels I've done. And again, you can change these. In this particular case, if I want to go in and I want to enter my information, I can put in done, and you can see it changes it. So if I'm out in the field and I'm doing any type of service tags, calibration tags, so forth and whatnot, this can be changed directly on the app, and then you print to the machine. It's a great tool for service tags, calibration tags, any type of specialty labels that you want to print out in the field. So here's some here, solar tags. All right, we're starting to get into the solar business, and one of the reasons why we're doing very well in the solar business is because these contractors are going into our distribution partners, and they're purchasing a ton of these labels that are pre-made, and they're somewhat expensive, I guess. What we can do is, I've got a bunch of these made already. You can actually take these and print them to the machine. Now, again, they're non-reflective, and in solar, there's a bunch of different criteria for solar labels. Some of them, they have to be reflective, but the main thing is that they have to be UV resistant, scratch resistant, scuff resistant, water resistant, fade resistant, and that's essentially what our labels are. So again, this is a nice way for anybody doing solar type applications or outdoor applications, is that these particular labels can be housed on iprint&label and then called up at a later date and printed. So the same thing for service tags. What else do I have on here? So again, there's just a plethora of stuff that you can do on these. I know I'm running through this real quick. We've only got a half an hour. Again, this is a half an hour that you'll never get back. So I do appreciate you showing up. We do have videos available, training videos on how to make custom labels and how to do barcoding. And speaking of barcoding, that's next week. But how to do barcoding and how to put logos on there and how to use databases. And again, those labels can be housed either on this app that I'm showing you, or you can have them housed in the machine. And we'll show you at a later date how you can take the labels and basically house them on the machine, but they can still be edited. No? Anyway. So anyway, that is brother iprint&label. So let me go out of here. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the collaboration effort. And again, we had a very successful webinar last week with Fluke, and we went into the nuances of from the office to actually downloading that database into the PTE 550 and downloading that database into the DSX series. Later on in this series, and Kelly is going to show some of the upcoming episodes, but later on in this series, I'm going to get into that from start to finish, where I'll get up into Linkware Live. I'll throw a database in there, and then I'll get to the point of downloading it into this app, connecting to the app to the machine, and away I go. All right, so stay tuned for that one. Now, even if you don't use Linkware Live, you can actually still use it, or I should say, let me digress. If you don't use Fluke, all right, Linkware Live is a free application. It's a cloud application. So the easiest way that I found to get this information into the PTE 550 is to put this information, and you're going to build a database, an Excel spreadsheet database of, let's say, your cable labels, your patch panel labels, which are essentially the same label. Your faceplate labels may be a little bit different, but we'll get into that as well, because you've got audio, video, telephony, and they're probably going to different areas of the closet itself. So with that being said, what happens is this particular app reaches up into Linkware Live. And up in Linkware Live, you can see I've got some different projects up there. I'll download it. I'll go into the Brother Factory. Now, at this particular point in time, what I can do is I can select this, and I believe this particular Brother Factory has got several thousand labels. What I'll do is, after connecting to the PTE 550W, is all I do is hit send. And now you've got that database in there that you're working off of, which from a labor perspective, it's huge labor savings. Again, because you're talking about old school ways of doing this versus utilizing a database and pulling that information or highlighting that information and printing out your labels. And on either, actually all of these have what's called a half cut feature. So the half cut feature, what it'll do is you can pull that information, and I know I hear it all the time. These are tough to see. I get it. You can't see it. In fact, you know what? I don't know. Probably not. Maybe no. It's not going to happen. What I'm looking at right here is I'm looking at a strip of cable wraps. And so after selecting all that information, what you can do is you can print this strip of labels out with what we call a half cut feature. The half cut feature, again, what it does is this is pre-sized to Cat 6A, but I can pull this first cable wrap off and I can stick it on the cable. I can pull the second one off right here, and I'm not waiting for the older machines to print off one label at a time. So again, that particular feature, the half cut feature, or the strip, if you will, the strip feature, is available on all these particular machines. And the machines you're looking at, by the way, again, I want to reiterate, they're all Wi-Fi enabled. We do have a couple of machines that are Bluetooth enabled as well. The primary machines that we sell out there to electrical and datacom are going to be these two right here, the PTE 550 and then the PTE 800. Again, which both Wi-Fi enabled. You can utilize the apps with these as well. With that being said, I mean, that's a brief run through. I do want to reiterate that I have all the videos available. That is going to go into the minutia of how to build the jobs, how to build the custom labels, if you will, service tags, whatever you want to call it, and then transfer those into these machines. So with that being said, we got 10:23. I got 7 minutes left here. What am I missing here? Gosh, you know what I talk.
Is there a place that, can you tell them where to go get all of the apps? Is there a place like on our website or something? People are asking that question, where they can get all the apps. Is there a document we have to download it?
Well, I tell you what you can do is, let me bring this up real quick. All right, and I'm going to show you, Jamie, where you can go. All right, so let me stop this share real quick. Let me run into, where is it? Share my screen, and we'll go into this, and we'll go into here. Let me see if y'all can see this. Maybe not. What I'll do is a new share. I'll come over here. All right. And all right, can you all see that? So if you go into the App Store, all right, or you go into, one thing I don't like about this damn Zoom is these little boxes are all over the place. So again, you got iprint&label, you got your cable label tool, you got your Transfer Express, you got iLink&label. Now, all of those are available on the App Store as well as Google Play. So I was right about Google Play. That's probably the easiest way to go find these. It's just go into your App Store, type in Brother iprint&label, a cable label tool, or the Google Play, and download those directly to your phone. As far as connecting these to your Wi-Fi device, by default, and I will let you know because I get these questions all the time. When you connect your phone to these devices, it's going to ask for a WEP key. You can always change that WEP key, but by default, it's 8 zeros. So 0000 times 8. All right, so you got 8 zeros. So keep that in mind the first time you connect your phone to the actual printer. Now, once you go inside the app, and I'll do this again, I'll show you real quick. Once you go inside the app itself, you can actually select the printers. So up in, let's just go iprint&label. All right, you can see the drop-down menu where you can select the printers here. Now, right now, what it's looking for, it is looking for the PTE 550W. Let me turn that on real quick. There is a Wi-Fi button on all these machines that will enable the Wi-Fi or disable the Wi-Fi. So if you're working in an institution that does not allow the Wi-Fi, turn it off. All right. So what's going to happen is my phone is automatically going to connect to this machine. It'll pick up the machine, and as you can see here, it's got the PTE 550. I can check the media, so it'll talk to the machine. So that's the way, and usually I have multiple machines that I'm demoing. So make sure that when you go into settings, you select the proper machine to print to. So with that being said, anybody that with questions, in fact, what we may do on the follow-up email is send out with the thank you letter, my personalized thank you letter that I send to each and every one of you, by the way. We may put the link in there as far as where to download these, and then maybe even put a link as far as the training videos. I ask you to reach out to me at any particular time. What I do within the organization as a value-add service is I actually help you with stuff like this. I do the training. I will help you with your custom labels. It is a value-add service that Brother brings to the table that maybe our competition doesn't. So service before and after the sale, that's the way we operate here at Brother Industrial. With that being said, Kelly, would you put up the information for the upcoming episodes as well as the contact information? So next week, I love barcoding, and QR code is coming back. And what I'm going to do with the barcoding is talk about the different types of barcodes, whether it be an EAN 39 or a 128 or an Aztec code or a QR code, and the amount of information you can put in there, and what the right protocol may be. Now, Brother doesn't, one of the things we don't do on the barcoding is we don't make the software. We're going to print those barcode labels for you, but it's based upon the type of barcode that you choose. So with that being said, next week is going to be a really, really good episode for those that don't know barcoding. I'm going to go into each one of the applications. Here you have, right now we're scheduled through July 16th. Speaking of, one of the things that I'm going to do is take a look at this now, all right? I'm not going to shave this, and this should be pretty cool once you go back through the other episodes, but I'm going to let this go. And hopefully we come out of this crap here pretty soon, but as long as we're on confinement, this thing is going to go. So it should be pretty interesting to kind of see the timeline of how this goes. But anyway, we're scheduled through July 16th. We are going to have some episodes after that, if we're still in these kind of funky times. So please tune in, if you will. The people to contact in your respective areas, I'm on the West Coast. I technically cover everything west of the Mississippi, but I'm wide open to helping anybody out there as far as developing custom labels and showing you how easy this stuff works. We got Mr. Jamie Brookover out of Virginia Beach, Mr. Dan Cobb out of somewhere in Wisconsin, Mr. Bruce Page is in Marblewood, whatever that is. Mr. Rob Dawkins is in North Carolina. And the great Craig Robinson, our director, is out of Florida. With that being said, folks, I think we're out of time. I really appreciate that. Catch up on the previous episodes.